Google Maps works great. It's the best navigation app out there. But when you look at it as a whole, it's terrible for privacy. It's closed source, there's constant data collection, Google knows and tracks everywhere you go. So I stopped using it, for the most part. I switched to OsmAnd on GrapheneOS, and it's been way better than I expected. But a viewer recently told me Organic Maps is simpler and less confusing. So we'll be checking out both of these apps in this video, and you can decide which one works for you. I don't need maps all that often, but when I do, I want something that actually works, and OsmAnd does. It works offline. That was the biggest surprise for me. Before I first used it, I imagined the UI would be terrible. Google's really good at some things, and Maps really is one of them. But OsmAnd has handled public transportation, driving, walking, even in rural areas where I would expect it to fail. I've only had one navigation problem, and that was in a really remote place. But other than that, it just works. The UI isn't as polished as Google Maps. Sometimes it's confusing, but I was willing to give it time because of how serious I am about privacy. Now, I only use the most basic features, directions and GPS location. If Organic Maps does that with a cleaner interface, that might be the better option. First up, installation. For OsmAnd, you can install the app from F-Droid or from Obtainium. On Obtainium, search OsmAnd and install from GitHub or F-Droid. All done. Then you download Maps offline for the areas you need. This is what makes it work without internet. Sometimes, when you zoom into a particular area, it will give you the option to download all the maps. Other times, you'll need to go into the menu. Tap into the hamburger menu, and then Maps and Resources. And here, you can choose whichever country you'd like to download maps for. To install Organic Maps, open Accrescent, scroll down until you find Organic Maps. There's not that many apps on Accrescent at this time, so it's easy to find. Install it, and then same deal, download offline maps for your area. On Organic Maps, you tap into the hamburger menu and then download maps, and you can download an entire country, such as Albania, or Armenia, or Australia. So the UI on OsmAnd isn't quite as good as Google Maps. It is functional, but I wouldn't say it's elegant. At first glance, my experience of Organic Maps is that the UI was simpler. There was less going on. Even the color palette looks nicer. There are fewer buttons on the interface. It seems like it's going to be a very good option. In terms of accuracy on OsmAnd, I haven't had many problems. It's worked very well for everything I need it for. Public transportation, driving, walking, it's been solid for me. But I haven't tested these apps in a huge variety of places yet, in other countries. So your experience might be different. For example, if you're in a big city with good OpenStreetMap data, I'm sure you'll be fine. But if you are in the middle of nowhere, results may vary. Sometimes you may still want to use Google Maps. I know, I hate to say it, but if open source maps aren't working, if they lead you the wrong way, or they can't find what you need, just open Google Maps in your browser and get to where you're going. It's not the end of the world. But I wouldn't download the Google Maps app. Use the browser version if you need it. Keep those Google apps off your phone. And if you've considered using a standalone GPS unit, I tried a Garmin once, and there were so many navigation errors that I gave it up forever. It got me lost, more than it actually got me to my destination. Fortunately, OsmAnd has been better. Google Maps works great, and it looks great, but it costs you your privacy. OsmAnd and Organic Maps work surprisingly well, especially offline, and they don't track you. OsmAnd has worked well for me, and I will be using Organic Maps increasingly in the future. I think it's going to serve me very well. So go ahead and try both. See which one you prefer. One might have more features, say if you're a geography nerd, and the other might be simpler if you just are trying to drive somewhere. Figure out what matters to you and make the switch. I think it'll be worth your time. Now it's time for me to pitch a couple of my videos that I made previously. If you want to see what other apps I use on GrapheneOS, I made a video where I replaced all of the Google apps I ever used. I will link that below. And if you haven't yet even installed GrapheneOS, I have a full setup guide. That will also be in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.